I welcome everyone to another episode of Hazard Time Gets Lost. I don't think in the first episode we actually introduced ourselves. We just started talking.
That's not important.
But I assume you're going to know at least me. I'm Liam, and I'm joined by my co-host, Dimitri. Second in charge of Hazard Time, I suppose.
Second in
Probably,
command.
probably been on it more than Richard, I would assume.
Yeah, I think so.
In terms of, like,
Not always willingly.
line of succession, I need to see who comes after Richard.
For
Maybe,
your channel?
yeah.
I thought you were talking about just Hazard Time Productions. Oh, it doesn't exist. Sorry, we're in a multiverse thing here.
Yes.
Hazard Time
Yes.
doesn't recognize Hazard Time Productions.
I don't know why, but yeah. So today we're talking about episode 2, pilot part 2. I guess it's maybe still episode 1 part. I don't know. But yeah, the second part of the pilot.
The pilot.
What did
Is
you
there
think?
any TV show that doesn't call it a pilot?
Oh, I'm sure there are plenty.
Yeah, I'm sure there is, but like the best pilot that's not pilot.
Interesting. I wonder Twin Peaks if
I'll look it up since I probably do it easier here.
because Twin Peaks might have been just. 'Cause I know they did I know it was just episode 1, episode 2, episode 3.
No, it's
then,
pilot. It's called pilot.
Because I know, but isn't it also just called episode 1 as well?
Yeah, hold on. I don't know. Wikipedia lists it as.
Because I think when it first came out, it was just listed as episodes, and then later on they added titles to the episode.
Well, there's number 1 is called Pilot Northwest Passage. Number 2 is called Episode 1 Traces to Nowhere.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, that's what I meant. So it's not episode 1 at all. It's just completely pilot /
Okay, that's weird. I didn't know that he didn't direct all of the episodes.
No.
So you wrote... No, he didn't even write them all. Then why are people got hard on for freaking Twin Peaks and David Lynch over here? He didn't even...
Well, I think he's huge in season 1, and then
No,
season
1,
3 is
he directs 2 episodes in season 1, and he co-writes 3 of them
yeah.
out of 8.
And then season 3, season 3 is all him. Well, all him and Mark Frost.
Yeah, but isn't
People
season
often-
3 the bad one?
No, season 3 is the good one. Season 3 is the best one. Season 2 is the bad one. Season 2 is when he's barely there. David Lynch came
I think Twin Peaks is overrated.
well, that's preposterous. But we need to talk about Lost, not Twin Peaks.
Well, how could we talk about Lost without talking about Twin Peaks just a little bit?
I mean, Lost was influenced by Twin Peaks. One of the biggest influences on the show was Twin Peaks. I mean, Twin Peaks is one of the most influential TV shows to exist.
I don't know about that. It came out in 1990. There's a lot of TV before that.
But it wasn't very good. Modern TV is influenced by Twin Peaks.
Modern TV is not always something to be lauded about. It's not always good.
Well, I guess post 90s, man. Maybe not modern, because I don't know if you count 2000s as modern anymore. But Sopranos, influenced by Twin Peaks. Lost, X-Files. You get Breaking Bad because of Twin Peaks.
That's just that's such a huge jump, though. They influenced, it's not the cause of, we didn't get Breaking Bad because of Twin Peaks. We got certain qualities of Breaking Bad.
Kind of. I mean, Vince Gilligan did Breaking Bad. He got his start as a writer on on X-Files, which was directly influenced by Twin Peaks.
Yeah, okay. If you want to go back in time enough, everything's influenced by, freaking Twilight Zone or something. That's real
Twilight Zone was
influential.
influenced by Twin Peaks too. Okay, he saw a vision of the future.
I must make this show so this show can be made before mine.
exactly. So what did you think of this part two?
It's okay. I
Just
think
okay.
I liked it better than part one, actually.
Yeah. Well, again, I think a part two like this, it is naturally probably going to be a little bit better, less setup, more kind of you're in it
Yeah,
now.
yeah, they do. They dive into the happenings pretty quickly.
Like
Everybody's so
episode,
attractive in this show.
hell yeah.
They are. It's like, some shows are like, kind of middle of the ground, but like they got some really good looking people in this one.
It's good looking without like it's not like CW looking.
Yeah,
Where CW is just they hired two random underwear models to play your main
except for
character.
except for old Boone over there.
Oh yeah, Boone is the CW character, which I think is he goes on to like Vampire Diaries after this. I
Yeah,
think.
It's Ian Somerhalder, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Which so Terry O'Quinn, what did he do before this?
Uh,
Because didn't you
I,
mention that one of the reasons you were interested in the show or you like kept watching it was because of him?
no, that's why my mom started watching it. She started watching it because of Terry O'Quinn.
Okay, so what drew her to Terry O'Quinn then? Like, why did she like him?
I don't know a lot of the stuff he's been in. I know he was a big part of Millennium, that TV show, which is the X-Files spinoff. So that's another TV show that wouldn't exist without Twin Peaks.
Right.
And Terry O'Quinn plays like three different characters in the X-Files. So in that universe, there's like four Terry O'Quinns.
He's good. Terry O'Quinn's good. Terry
I
O'Quinn,
believe,
like, he's one of like the actors that he can say anything and it's interesting. Like he
yeah,
has that power of being just like the storyteller.
yes.
He's like he's describing like backgammon, and you're like, ooh, keep going.
Oh,
Like,
that's a great moment too. Well, like it's so like key
yeah,
to the show.
yeah. That it's like obviously a pivotal point in like setting up future ideologies in this show.
Yeah, but I think Terry O'Quinn, he's probably got like a big history in TV and movies that like we as younger people aren't going to be as aware of. Like
He's a character actor.
he was the stepfather in like the horror movie Stepfather. Like, did you ever even see that?
I've heard of it, but I definitely haven't seen it.
Yeah, so like,
Well, and I think that's probably a big reason why Lost is remembered so fondly is because of the cast.
definitely, yeah.
Like without a doubt, like everybody's just so good in it. Like these are actors doing a
Yeah.
good job. Cuz like what's his name? Dominic
Monaghan.
yeah, Dominic Monaghan. Like he's just good at being him. Like
Yeah.
it's not like a like Will Smith playing Will Smith. Like no, it's him and he's still like enjoyable to watch him play a character versus play himself.
Yeah. I do think there is like an element of he is playing himself a little bit because you can see a little Mary from Lord of the Rings in
Yeah.
there as well. He's probably
Yeah.
just playing himself.
But it's not so in your face because I guess
Yeah.
he's not he isn't such a big like I don't want to say personality because but like he's not a star. So
Right.
he doesn't have
I-
star power, but he's got personality.
Yeah, and you can. It doesn't matter if you're playing yourself as long as you're a good actor. Like-
Yeah, I guess that's really what it comes down to. It's like
Like,
he's a good actor versus,
Like, do you know who's not the best actor and kind of always just plays himself?
Who?
Is David Duchovny, and it works in X Files because like you like that, but then you see X Files, and you
Yeah,
like him in X Files because you like Mulder. But then any other time David Duchovny comes up, he's like, you just Mulder again, huh?
because it was just
Okay.
good casting. Like that's a powerful tool, really, when you think about it. Is like if being cast for the because I was thinking that while watching the show, like it's really good casting, but it's also people acting well.
Yeah, and it's impressive, how many times they really hit it out of the park with this because this is it's 14 main characters, and everybody's Sawyer's good, Hurley is good, Saeed is good, and there's no stinker in the cast like this guy's not bringing his A game.
Like he's really dragging it down.
We should see a little bit less of him.
Like an old Walt over here. Jeez, could enjoy the show if he wasn't just phoning it in the whole time. Oh man, obviously this is gonna become more and more brought up, but like Michael's great. He's one of my favorite. He's just so good.
You know what I come to realize, and this was watching the TV show From, where Harold Farano is the main character of that show. I love Lost. One of my biggest criticisms of Lost is they wasted Harold Farano as an actor. He is such a good actor, Michael. Like
I know, that's what I was saying. Like they're just in this like him being a crappy father is just great to watch.
He is so good as an actor. Like if you ever watch From, which we should watch From after we finish this Lost podcast, we start a From podcast. He's so good in it.
Does he play a Michael?
A little bit.
It's like that's what I'm like. Just sitting here wondering, like acting. It's like you have like I'm doing impressions and I'm putting on like a full character, like I'm a Joker actor, versus like your Lost acting, which is like more grounded, but it's still just as important.
In From, he's still kind of like a bad dad. That's like maybe a little too similar to Lost, but like that gets pushed aside. He mends and whatever, and that's not his main thing either. But like if you just want to see a character go through it, you just constantly have like. I'm trying to not say too much to like not give away, but Michael just. I mean, his character in From, I've never seen somebody who needs a vacation more. Like, he is just going through it. And he's
he's just, like, so exasperated, and, like, you can just tell he's, like, internally trying and failing. Because his little bit with, like, it's just really good. His little bit with Mike, or Walt, and, like, they're looking for the dog. And instead of... It just the way he consoles him is, hey man, I'll make it up to you. When we get back, I'll get you a new dog. I'm like, dude, come on. Like, and it's like crushes Walt, and Walt's like, I'm done with this shit. I'm done with you.
Walt is like the Carl. Like Walt was like the first Carl of Break. Because Walt is always just wandering into the jungle by himself. And Michael's like, no, stay by the beach where I can see you.
Well, even in this episode, he's like, have you seen my son? Like, come on, dude.
Well, I emphasize, I mean, like, can he really be watching him 24/7? Like, he goes to take a shit and he comes back and his son's got like, oh my God, I can't turn away.
I say that, yeah. But still, you have to have some control over your kid.
Yeah.
Or your wife, At least Jin's got it under control.
Oh, maybe a little too much. But
you don't
I guess
see
the big
Sun
thing is
wandering off into the woods by herself.
Walt discovers the pair of handcuffs, which we later find out is belonged to Kate.
Yeah, that's a good reveal. That was good.
Did you remember that?
No, I didn't remember. No, I didn't remember it. But when it happened, I was like, "Oh yeah," but I didn't remember it beforehand.
Yeah, we get two different flashbacks. We get a mini Kate flashback and a mini Charlie flashback. Which is interesting that they picked Charlie as the second. Like, I wonder if early on they're trying to have Charlie as like a bigger than he ultimately ends up being.
Yeah, it's all the screen testing they did. Charlie just didn't pan out. People didn't want to see more Charlie.
No, people love Charlie. Or some people love Charlie. Some people hate Charlie.
But, see, exactly. I feel like that's the thing. When you get people into that dislike crowd, Like if your character's kind of meh, like they might stay there longer than people who love and hate.
Yeah. You know, I thought the best scene in this part two is
Hmm.
like right after Sawyer shoots the polar bear. There's just like so many good lines.
Oh, where'd you get that from? Like, or where did it come from? It's like, oh, he just came in from the Bear Town or something.
Probably Bear Village. How the hell should I know? Now it's
Probably,
Bear the
probably.
gun.
In fact, I just watched this. I don't remember.
And then Kate has the gun and she's like, how do I use the gun? Charlie's like, just pull the trigger. Like, I don't not use it, take it apart. And Charlie has this face of like, oh yeah, right, okay. Don't shoot him, just like, oh yeah, my bad, my mistake. And guess what? I just shot a bear.
I just shot a bear. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Um, I like the part with the marshal because it's always a good reminder. Like you can only act so tough as a person. Like you can only act like, oh, I'm so tough. I'm a bad dude. But then it's just something as simple as like hitting your head. And like,
Yeah.
nope, you're done, dude. Like you ain't got shit under control. You just bumped your head, and now you're knocked unconscious.
He's a good little character actor too, that Frederick Leheen or something.
Yeah, I've seen him in
He
other
shows up
stuff.
once he shows up once or twice in things. He's got a good bit in Supernatural back when that was good.
I like the little task force
Yeah.
they put after Charlie. Like he's like running away, and then it's like three of these stewardess run after him and like
Boom boom boom.
try to lock down Charlie. Which I don't even
On.
get. Like he was obviously acting maybe a little strangely, but this stewardess is she's really grilling him.
I mean, I guess, it's 2004, 3 years after 9/11.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, we got the whole terrorist thing with Saeed and Sawyer, so they touched upon that. But
I mean, I don't know what like would have really happened if they accosted Charlie. Would they be like, "Well, you got something on you?" Like, what do they think? I don't know. They just think he's weird, right? Like,
yeah, he doesn't look like he's gonna blow up the plane, but maybe that was his plan all along. And that's another thing. Like, if they found the drugs or whatever, like however that would happen, which he's just being paranoid because he's on drugs, but like there was nothing they could have done to him. Just put his drugs in his
Yeah.
pocket. They weren't gonna search him.
but like I also like, why did he let himself get to that point? Like you figured he would have snuck away to the bathroom, like earlier, so he didn't get to the point where he's like itching and twitching. Like, did he try and go the whole flight without taking a hit or something?
I don't know because he takes like multiple hits just then.
Which I also point out is like, I don't know if they said it in this episode, but what he's doing is heroin, and like
Kinda-
you don't snort heroin or eat it or whatever he's doing.
Yeah, I kind of just left it to being like a generic drug, like a
Which is,
bad druggy drug.
yeah, I guess that's what they're saying it is. I mean, heroin you like inject. It's not like you boil it with the spoon and then you inject it.
Well, isn't there? Well, I don't know, but I guess that's kind of like. It's just better to have it that way, and instead of people be like, "Well, actually,
I
you
think,
don't know what drug he's doing.
yeah.
He's doing 2004 space heroin."
I wonder why they pick heroin and didn't just like do cocaine. Like, cocaine's easy, you get some white powder, you pretend to sniff it, like,
Maybe it's some like ratings code or something. Like if you show the realistic depiction of doing drugs, then that bumps it up to this many. Because that's another thing too. Is I realize like it doesn't really hold back in terms of the blood.
yeah.
That and like
Well,
so the violence and stuff.
they actually, it's interesting, they actually kind of held back in a way to make the blood feel more significant, because that's a thing they did in the first episode during that crash. they specifically avoided the color red. You know, like no one was wearing a red shirt or anything. So that moment where you finally do see blood,
Right.
it's that much more stark because you haven't seen the color red the whole episode.
Yeah.
But like
Well,
the marshal, he's like shooting, gushing up blood at this point, I think.
well, that's what I'm saying. Is like they clearly show it in on frame of like them pulling the shrapnel out and stuff. So
I mean, they know what they can get away with in terms of blood and language.
that's why they chose generic drug.
Yeah. Gotta make compromises somewhere.
This isn't fair. I wanted Charlie to do cocaine, specifically cocaine.
Now, is this regular heroin or black tar heroin?
We got people bouncing and hitting the ceiling of the plane. That's always fun.
Yeah.
You know, every turbulence, like major turbulence scene in the movie, there's got to be some idiot who just. There's like multiple of them in this too.
That's why you gotta buckle up, man.
I guess so. At that point, the seatbelt light probably wasn't on though. Well, no, it should have been because they were experiencing turbulence. So
I think you hear an announcement like,
Yeah.
hey, man, people.
because it
No.
doesn't just like I don't think it randomly just appear. Like they get a little bit beforehand, enough to kind of be aware
Yeah.
of it.
It definitely escalates to.
So it's their fault for
Yep.
being thrust into the top of the plane.
Hey, it's their fault for getting on the plane in the first place. You gotta anticipate. Maybe you crash on an island on this flight. How important is?
Yeah, it's whether or not you're just gonna swim everywhere.
They got boats. That's how Columbus got here.
Let's see, we've got the old switcheroo with Sawyer. He's not the criminal. Well, he's not the specific criminal in this scene. It's Kate.
Yeah.
And then we've got the radio transmission.
Yeah, you got
Which-
whole. What?
The little bit which Saeed is like some freaking genius doing this math on the fly, but with them finally figuring out that it's been going on for like 16 years, that was
That's a
good
great
reveal.
moment.
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck are we? Like that would have been a good fuck moment if they were allowed one.
Yeah, I mean Charlie gives the close. He's like, "Where are we?" This is awful.
Because it's just like escalating for them more and more. Like I think this is kind of the moment where they realize like, yeah, this is not a normal place. Like,
Well, yeah, the smoke, which they kind of accept the smoke monster pretty quickly.
but yeah, I think
Jack and
they
Charlie-
accept the smoke monster as like maybe an anomaly. Maybe okay, there's a monster in the jungle. Maybe that's the only thing wrong with this island. Oh wait, no, there's a polar bear too. Okay, that's not normal. And like, oh, French transmission, 16 years. Okay, yeah, this is definitely not a normal
They were
island.
like French transmission, repeating over and over again. Like, okay, 16 years. Like, damn it, that sealed the deal. We're fucked. There's definitely bad juju. Everything else, it was okay. Still felt like we were all gonna make it out alive, but now some of us are definitely gonna die.
I wonder what happened if like they did just like immediately get rescued and they were like, oh, by the way,
Yeah.
that island you picked us up on, there was a giant monster shaking up the trees. I don't know if you want to check that out or something.
Well, at this point, only a few of them know of it. But like I said, Jack and Kate and Charlie just kind of accept it very rapidly.
Well, they all know it. They all saw, they all saw it and heard it.
Yeah, but they saw something and heard it. That could have you could have just been like, oh, well, that was a really loud like island creature. I don't know. But you
Well,
didn't think it
island
was a
creatures-
smoke monster.
Well, at this point, I don't think they know it's a smoke monster. By the way,
I thought Charlie like saw it.
I think he just knows the size of it.
Well, they also know that it threw the pilot up into the tree.
Yeah, I think
So
they know it's big, and it like reached. It clearly reached into the cockpit and pulled the pilot out as well.
yeah. I
So there
mean,
needs to
honestly,
be.
at this point, you're wondering like, is it flying? It's
Yeah,
Jurassic Park more than anything.
yeah. I mean that is like the early assumption. It's some type of creature. You know. Um, do, do they say at some point like, is it like I might be jumping ahead in an episode, but is there like a point where Hurley says like maybe it's a dinosaur and Jack goes it's not a dinosaur? I'm like why? Dinosaurs are extinct. I'm like oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it wasn't this one.
Oh, it wasn't this one.
No,
Okay.
yeah, it wasn't this one. No. Yeah, Hurley is. There's a couple moments with him. He's got.
Hurley's the good comic relief.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got Hurley, you got Charlie, you got Shannon for the teenage drama. Apparently, Shannon and Boone.
Good old Boone.
Yeah, Boone was in this episode, but we should mention whenever Boone is featured. He's
She's the main
prominently
character.
he's
So
prominently
he's gonna
featured in this episode.
yeah.
Everybody, just wanted you to know that Boone was around.
Not much. Still not much Sun and Jin.
No, just enough to keep them mysterious.
Yeah. Not really much Michael either.
No, they're teasing Locke. I mean, we don't even know Locke's name.
Yeah. Yeah. They're just kind of giving you vibes of some of these characters. You know, like they're throwing vibes with Sawyer. You know, Sawyer's mysterious. He's roguish. You know, and
Yeah,
they're throwing vibes at you with Locke as well. Like, ooh, who's this bald guy? He likes backgammon. What's going on here?
You want to know a secret, Walt?
Do I know how I got these stars?
I mean, he does have a pretty good scar.
Eye scar is classic. I think if you got to get a scar, you want one of those.
Yeah, that's the thing with scars, though, is that it doesn't matter where you have it or what kind of scar it is. It's all about the story.
True. Then you just make up the story. As long as you make up a deep.
That's a lot of responsibility to have a face scar.
Yeah.
You got to back it up. You got to be a certain type of person.
But all these scars, are like gone by like episode 4. You know, it's just like superficial stuff to show that they were slightly damaged in this plane crash, even though they were. You know, no one made it out of this plane crash missing an arm. You know, it's actually the quite exact opposite. But we'll get into that later.
Yeah. I want the spin-off show of the people that were tossed from the plane but didn't land on the island. So they just hit the water.
Died. Short
Maybe.
spin-off.
Sure, yeah. Episode 1 is just leading up to them flying out of the plane, and then that's it.
Which I guess they just like exploded on the water because it's like concrete.
Well, I mean, if they pencil dived into it, they could do it. They survive.
I don't know. They were like thousands of feet in the
Yeah,
air.
I guess so. I forgot that they were in a plane up in the
And they weren't like hovering over the water 2 feet, 20 feet above the water hovering.
I wonder what the free fall time was on that.
Probably too long. Like long enough for them to know, like, ah, fuck. This is it for me.
Like, damn. Could have been so interesting. We could have crashed on an island with some monsters.
Maybe they did survive. I mean, all these people somehow survived. So maybe there's just like
Yeah, that's
10...
that's the biggest thing is like you're expected to suspend your disbelief from them surviving the plane crash. Like
So maybe there's like 10 people floating in the middle of the Pacific, just like, oh, what's going on here? And they get picked up by like a fishing boat or something.
maybe we'll have a lot of fishing boat episodes.
Let's hope so.
Man, see, the more I watch it, the more I just remember little bits and pieces about the rest of the show and how exhausting it's going to be to deal with all of that.
Yeah, it's good.
It's like full on characters that I'm forgetting about and then remembering and like, oh, well, that's a whole story.
Hell yeah, it's probably a good story.
So right now, favorite character I think is going to be. We'll see how it changes throughout the show, but I'm other than Michael. Michael's always he's kind of just a default favorite character, but um, I really like Sawyer because even in his little like small appearance, he's got some good lines.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm just going off of these two episodes, I'm saying my favorite is either Sawyer or Charlie.
Yeah.
I mean, once we start seeing more characters get fleshed out, then your favorite might change.
Well, I don't know. I already kind of have favorites, but
Well, yeah, I was just talking like
watching the show may change that. I don't know. I've got favorites from watching episodes, but
yeah.
yeah, that's pilot part 2.
Well, I think we got more we could talk about, right?
I don't think so.
Did we cover everything? I mean, how do you feel? I guess we did cover everything. I'm looking at what happened. This is the start for Sawyer and his nicknames, which is a recurring thing.
Who does he give a nickname to?
I think he like when he has that fist fight, he gives like he gives a couple.
Yeah, he calls Hurley Lardo.
That's great. Because like Hurley's like so taken aback. Hurley's just got this like, well, fuck you then. Face.
Yeah, I know exactly. Because there was no. Because he's like, hey, come on, guys, just stop it. We're all trying to get. He's like, oh, shut up, Lardo. It's like, damn.
I think he calls Jack Metro.
I don't remember. I mean, I think he calls him Doc.
I'm pretty sure it might be another
Metro.
point. Metro, as in like he's calling him metrosexual.
Yeah, but it's like it doesn't even fit that description. There's nothing metrosexual about him on the island.
And then of course he's got Kate and calling her sweetheart or Freckles or whatever he does.
Sweet, he's like Sweet Cheeks, or is that not?
I think it might be because like when he goes like you decided to join us and he goes I'm a complex guy, sweetheart.
Sweet, I'm a complex guy, sweetheart. Yeah. I've been with all sorts of girls like you. Not exactly like me.
That's a random ass poll. What made you think of that?
Well, it's in the episode. That's what he says. He's like, when she disarms him.
Because they say like the exact same thing in Batman v Superman when like Batman's talking to Wonder Woman.
I bet they do. They probably do.
And I'm wondering like, wow, that was a random poll. Where did he get that from?
Just appeared, just came to the surface. My love of Batman v Superman quotes. I think it'd be fun to kind of explore like if this show was made nowadays, like how it would be different.
I don't like to think about that.
Because it couldn't have been. It wouldn't have been.
It wouldn't have been as good.
Do we even get shows like of this magnitude now? Like, I haven't watched TV. I don't know. Like I know there's like Game of Thrones and stuff, but
You get shows of this magnitude, but like they're not as big. Like you don't get shows like this that are 22 episode seasons.
I was about to say this has 22 like 20-ish episodes a season. That's just unheard of.
Yeah. So like something like Stranger Things might be the same like in terms of like scope.
Yeah.
But it's like you get eight episodes a season and you got to wait 2 or 3 years for the next season.
God, I'm glad I don't like TV.
I hate that. I hate Lost. You got 22 episodes. Next year, you got another 22 episodes, and it was perfect.
Because nowadays, like the new Game of Thrones show, whatever it is, I don't remember.
Yeah.
How many episodes were in that per season? Like 10?
I think they had 10 in the first season,
Like,
and then
oh.
9 in the 9 or 8 in the second season, and everyone was like, "Where are the other 2 episodes?" That didn't feel like the last episode of the season. It just feels like you just randomly stopped the season.
I mean, it really is like made for a different time when people didn't have 50 million things vying for their attention. They're like, well, we need to keep these people interested. We need to string them along.
Yeah, like it was, it's like 4 or 5 networks competing to be the show on that day. Like this was the show to watch on Wednesday or whatever day it was.
Now,
Thursday there was a different show that probably wasn't as popular as.
We've got TikTokers and content creators. They're the ones that are trying to capture our interest. I hate those people.
Me too.
I think we've hit on everything we can for this episode.
Yeah, I suppose so. You taking notes?
I took a couple this time, but I'm not a very good note taker, so I'm also not good at paying attention to anything.
Doorknob? Question mark.
I still don't know what the hell that is. I really don't know why I wrote that down.
We gotta figure out what season that was, and then rewatch it to see if there might be a clue as to what doorknob question mark meant. Because it makes no sense.
It's like super important, maybe. I will. Honestly, we need to devise some sort of goal per episode. Like, you need to find this. See if you can find any instance of this happening. We'll just stop paying attention.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for now.
Yeah,
Unless you've got anything else.
No, that's about it.
All right. Well,
no
thanks for
absurd
watching.
sound effects for characters this episode, so that's a good thing.
See, that's what we gotta look out for.
Yeah. Still wasn't captivated by the music. Okay, nothing great going on there.
Well, they got the great. I'm pretty sure this is where they introduced the great hiking music that.
I guess that's the thing. There's no obviously there's a score, but there's no memorable song. There's just a lot of musical beats going on, which makes sense because 22 episodes, you're not gonna write that much music. But
yeah, I think later on in the season we do get Lost theme,
song.
The most memorable piece of music that was produced by Lost. That'll come at some point in this season. I don't know when.
Do you have a beef with the opening intro?
No.
No, well, I don't know. As I was looking up online about the cascading Lost, and people really, really had a problem with there being graphical glitches.
Really? I didn't notice.
Being cheap.
Hmm.
I don't know, I just found it interesting. It's something I wouldn't have noticed, and even upon noticing it, I don't really care. But there's there's certain people out there who really just can't stand that it was just cheaply done. Because apparently, J.J. Abrams made it in 30 minutes, while he was writing the script or something. He was doing random stuff. Then he made the intro, and he did it on his laptop. And so it turned out kind of not the greatest quality, but it really gets to people. It really grinds their gears.
I haven't seen anything about that. That's interesting. I mean, I have no issue with it. I mean, I like, for the most part, I'm always gonna prefer a short and to the point intro, right?
Yeah, I think
Like
it's
if you're gonna have a long intro, you you gotta make damn sure it's good.
yeah.
To like the Psych intro, I'll always watch the Psych intro. That's a great intro. But something like Stranger Things, for example, like I don't know, just
Oh man, that that
music
one's too
playing,
much.
names popping up. Like, nah, you don't need it. Like
Yeah.
X Files is good.
X-Files
Like
is really good.
X Files is good.
I think
Twin
what it
Peaks,
does is it sets the mood,
yeah.
honestly. So if you can do that in like 10 seconds, then good job.
I think what's more important to Lost isn't the intro; it's the outro. It's having that boom Lost at the end. That's that's the important thing because that
Well,
always hits good.
yeah, I agree.
Especially
That is like almost more memorable.
because Lost is like the cliffhanger show. Man, like when you were watching a season finale and some crazy shit would happen at the end and be like Lost, and you realize like, oh, fuck, I gotta wait, 4 months to see what happens.
Yeah, it's the fact that like you almost don't want that big of a cliffhanger, but you do. It's
Yeah.
like the bigger the cliffhanger is, like the more impact. Like, oh yeah, that was good. That felt good. But then you're like, crap. Now I gotta wait. So,
Ah.
but yeah, that's
Okay.
episode 2.
Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time.